Hey y'all, welcome to a new video. I really need to learn how to stop deleting my raw footage. I have deleted 2 videos this week, and it's been a week. Anyway, I've got some things I want to play with. I have a highlighter that I have been on and off playing with as using a blush. So we're gonna get into this. I also want to see just how much this gray blush can affect a base on my face. So I did a video about this blush specifically. This is Dust from Phytosurgence. It's not desaturated, it is rich. So I'm gonna see if I can get it to work as a adjuster for my About Face foundation, which is just a smidge too yellow for me. Let me pull my hair back. And if you're seeing the blue straps in every video, it's because I live in this top when I'm home. It's become like my favorite shirt for the moment. It's kind of new and so comfy, and I really love this color. All right, hair is back. All right, I need a primer. Let's go in with this Wet n Wild primer, mostly because the About Face foundation doesn't have a lot of glow to it, and as long as we're experimenting, we might as well throw that in. So I have gotten a haircut, and I've gotten my brows waxed. And at first I thought, oh my god, they're so thin. But the first time I filled them in, I was shook. Am I using that right? I feel like, I'm an elder millennial speaking like the children. Zoomed you in a bit so you can all see what's going on my face. I'm gonna grab the white adjusters from Salt New York because this gray blush, while it tones down the actual color, it also darkens. So I may need the white adjusters to kind of true it up a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on my cheek. You can see there, it's the shade match is, it's nominal. Like, I can get away with it. You belong in there and you belong up there. I recently learned that my memory cards have a switch that allows me to write or overwrite them. And I'm just like, the memory card has a switch? What? It does. It's got a little slidey switch. All right, a little bit of this. Wow, look at that. All right. And this foundation is lovely. It spreads really far, and you can get either a nice built up level or you can shear it out and get it really thin. I'm just taking a finger boop. That is a technical form of measurement, is a finger boop. I give my cats finger boops sometimes. All right, I want to see what it does up here to cover the redness. I don't know. Am I flying too close to the sun here? My fear is that I get it on and then it's going to start looking ashy because of all the gray. I think it's quite pretty. I need concealer, but that's another problem. That's another experiment, or not experiment, but another product. So this is the Tarte Shape Tape Stick. And I'm not quite experimenting with this as I am just getting to know it, learning its strengths and weaknesses. I'm going to use this brush that's got a lot of, green color corrector on it. You take it right off the stick. Yes, I have just swiped this on, but I want a little bit more control. I don't know what is going on. I went to bed early last night, but I am so tired today. And I don't know if it's allergies or what. It's really brightening, very brightening. It's also really neutral. And on a bare face of makeup, it looks really nice. But since I'm putting it against that grayed yellow foundation, I think it does kind of stand out. That thing has been there for like a month and a half. My cat scratched me. Speaking of, how fury. Yeah, it was an accident. He was trying to get my attention. He reached out with one claw and silly boy. Okay, I'm gonna throw some brows on and then we'll get into the meat. Okay, so I have been using the Merit 1980 Brow Gel, but under it I have been doing a layer of clear. This is the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. I find that by putting a clear brow gel through first, I don't get clumps and everything just kind of shears out nicely and spreads out evenly. I've been doing it for a while now and I feel like it really works. Okay, let's get to the elephant in the room. This is Chocolate Opal from House Labs. It is this beautiful brownie rosy highlighter. And I passed this in Sephora multiple times. And I was just like, that is so pretty. It would make the prettiest blush. But I didn't want to buy it new just for an experiment. So I found one online, secondhand. And it arrived almost new. It was in beautiful condition. So isn't that just the most beautiful color? So the problem I've had is because it is a highlighter and not a blush, it looks like a highlighter. I'm gonna powder my face first, so this doesn't like grab onto any unset areas of my face. Come on, powder brush, come through. I am using the House Labs powder. This is the loose setting powder. When I bought this, I was like, oh, I can't just tip it out into the lid like I did with the Givenchy. You know, I'd open it, I'd take out the puff, I'd put the lid back on, turn it upside down, tap a little out. No, with this, like, it's got that little trampoline net in the middle, and all I have to do is like tap that net and the powder goes on my brush nice and evenly, and I have to like pat off a little bit. It's so much less work. It's so much less work. All right. Nice little powdered cheek area. So I was watching a reel from Beauty Unhyped, and she was showing a new Danessa Myricks blush that is like a true brown. And I made it with a little bit of rosiness. I made a comment about how I had a highlighter that was similar in color that I was trying to make work as a blush. And she said, well, it's, first of all, it's a highlight, so it's going to have a lot of glow to it, but you might also want to back it with something that's rosy to help support that. So I haven't really picked something to support it with yet. Let's figure that out. So when I think of rosy blushes, my brain immediately goes one place, and that is Celestial Rose by Make Beauty. So I think what I'm going to do is clean off my brush. I have been filming face swatches. I've been face swatching every single face product I have. And by swatching, I mean applying a layer to one side, applying a different layer to another side, and then wiping my face and putting on foundation and doing it again. And I am surprised my face is not more red than it is. I have been really pushing in oils and treating it nicely. All right, Celestial Rose by Make Beauty. One of the prettiest rosy toned blushes I have ever used. This is also completely matte. So I'm thinking if I put a layer under the highlighter and then maybe another layer on top, that will kind of encase that brightness and let the color come through. All right, got a nice amount of that beautiful rosy blush down. I use one of these. This is an IT Cosmetics, like small little stipple brush. Okay. Chocolate Opal by Haus Labs. Yeah. All right, let's see here. She did also say with something this cool toned, it might be better to put it like, did she say this or did I just interpret it? I may have just interpreted that it's better to put it underneath because it's cool toned. Put it underneath the cheekbone, which is like right there, and let it be like a blushy contour. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's try it on the other side with, do I want to do a similar placement or do I want to place it differently? All right. I think I don't hate that. I don't know. It's different. It's challenging. But I do think it's really pretty. I'm going to go in with something brighter on the tops of my cheekbones to kind of act as a highlight. I'm going to go in with just a little bit of Cosmic, also from Make Beauty. Really gorgeous matte pink. I'm going to put that right on top of the cheekbone and at the where it pops out on my cheek. It might act as like a non-shimmery highlight. Let me see. I like the color. I like what it's doing to my cheeks. Let me go over it with just another light layer of Celestial Rose just to kill a smidgen of that shine. Okay, that's beautiful. I really like what that's doing. Now the question is this something I'm going to use on a daily basis? Is this something I'm going to reach for? And I think that right there is the crux of the matter. I think it works. I think it's beautiful. It's really pretty. But is it too fussy? Because I definitely brought it lower than I normally bring my blush. So maybe we can make a little adjustment there. I'm looking for the brush that I used for my foundation and I just used my fingers. Okay, so I definitely like wearing it higher up, almost like near where I would contour, using it as like a blushy contour, but it's still got some sheen. It's not like super glowy. The nice thing about this is even as a highlighter, it's not super metallic. It's not a See You from Outer Space highlight. It's not 2016. I think House Labs does make a couple. I know they make a like actual silver highlighter. I have no interest. None. That is not something I go for these days. I am too I don't want to use the word old. Maybe jaded by, the highlight trends of 2016, 2017, 2018. Something on my lips. I recently got the Edam lip gloss in clear. It is revelatory. It's amazing. Oh, yeah. I have it in Fig Sauce. The issue with it in Fig Sauce is a really deep color. This is not. Let's see what happens with just a little bit more of this. It's just makeup. I can wash it off. So the question is, how much of this is the two Make Beauty blushes versus how much of this color is the House Labs blush or highlighter? I think for giggles, I'm going to wipe off a cheek and just use it on my cheek alone. Using that gray blush with the About Face foundation really did make a difference. That's intriguing. I mean, and it did that when I tested it out too, but I didn't know how much it would actually work on my face, which is why we're playing with it. So I just finished a book. I tend to veer towards World War II historical fiction. And I just finished this book that I feel like could have been finished an hour before it was done, an hour earlier. I tend to listen to books. I don't know how many pages, but it just felt like it went on and on and on and on. It could have ended at several places. I get where the author was wanting to take it, but it just felt strung out. All right, we're going to go in with this on a cheek, no base blush. Oh, I also forgot to powder. Let me throw some powder on top of that because it is like gripping to the wet foundation. That's that's interesting. I mean, I know powder is going to dim it down. I know that powder is going to make it less highlightery, but I like the effect. I like the little bit of sheen. So that is it, boosted by other blushes. And I honestly feel like the other blushes are just taking center stage instead of being supporting players to our lovely brown. I really think that's beautiful. I think that's really pretty. It takes a minute for my eye to get used to it because it is so cool toned. And I'm not used to using blushes that are that cool toned. But gosh dang it, it's pretty. So the question is, if I take this and I really build it up on like the cheekbone, how much of a blushy finish do I get versus a highlightery finish? Man, these little grays have just been the bane of my existence lately. What do we think? I want to zoom in. And really get a look at how it sits on my skin. I mean, that's gorgeous, but it's also supported by Celestial Rose and Cosmic. I think this is quite pretty. Let's use just a small. I'll zoom you out so you're not, seeing what I had for lunch in my teeth. I had Middle Eastern. I had shawarma with rice and cucumber salad. It is not Israeli salad. Yeah, I'm going to use a small brush. Smaller. This is the Reffer 04. I was using the 05, which is significantly chunkier. And I wonder if maybe skipping Celestial Rose and just using a bit of Cosmic on top, like up here, would allow this to keep some of its glow and some of its natural base color. But this would just add a little bit of blushiness to it. I think that's lovely. I think that is really, really beautiful. All right, then. This thing has been kicking around my collection for months while I tried to figure out how to film this. And then I saw Beauty on Hype's video yesterday. So that was a really fun, interesting experiment. How to make two products that have such a diverse color story, that have a color story that is so different from something that I would use. I bought this thinking it's light neutral one. It was before I realized just how desaturated and neutral my skin is. And now it just comes off yellow. But a little bit of this, and they go together nicely, and I can actually use this and finish it. Win. We love that. And then this, I'm gonna start wearing it just as a brown cool toned blush. I might not put so much up here. I might just try and focus it along the cheekbone and along underneath just a little bit here. I don't know. I'll have to fiddle with placement, but I really like what this did. It was really lovely. And it was something different for me. You know, I love a brown blush, but I never go this cool. But it's so pretty. It's so pretty. All right, y'all, that is going to do it for today's video. It's a little quickie. I forget to introduce myself at the beginning of every video. My name is Rachel. I'm also disabled. I am disabled. I'm neurodivergent. I'm also an artist, and I love makeup. I love color. I love color theory. I love texture and shine and all of that fun stuff that gets encapsulated in the makeup beauty world. That being said, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, maybe share all of that fun stuff that you do with videos. And I hope you're taking care of yourselves so you can take care of each other. And I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye, friends.